Hello, my friends. Have you ever paused to consider the true power of your imagination? Not just as a fleeting daydream or a place to escape, but as a tool, your most profound and creative tool, for shaping reality. The imagination, when activated with intention, holds the secret to achieving what might seem impossible. Let me ask you this: what if the world around you isn't as solid and fixed as you believe? What if every circumstance you face is simply a reflection of the ideas, beliefs, and images you've entertained within yourself? The truth is, your imagination is the creative force behind every experience in your life. It's not limited to the realm of fantasy, it's the starting point for reality itself. The first thing to understand is that your imagination isn't passive. It's not something that simply exists in the background. It's dynamic, active, and endlessly powerful. Whatever you vividly imagine and sustain within your inner world begins to take form in your outer world. Think about it. Everything you see, every invention, building, or piece of art, once existed only in someone's imagination. The only difference between them and you is how they harness this faculty. Start by becoming aware of what you're imagining right now. What images occupy your mind? Are they images of fear and doubt, or do they align with the desires you hold most dear? If you continue to focus on lack, limitation, or failure, life will mirror those very things back to you. But when you imagine the life you truly wish to live and feel it as real, you begin to shift the circumstances in ways you might not fully understand at first. Here's an exercise to get started. Tonight, before you sleep, close your eyes and enter a state of relaxation. Let the day fade away and allow your mind to settle. In this quiet space, begin to imagine the fulfillment of your desires. See yourself living the life you wish to create. Picture every detail, the sights, the sounds, the emotions. Feel it so deeply that it's as if it's happening right now. Then, drift into sleep with this image imprinted on your mind. This is not a mere exercise, it's the gateway to creation. Many will say this sounds too simple, but simplicity doesn't diminish its power. The key is faith and persistence. Your imagination, guided by faith, will open doors where none seem to exist. There is no need to force or manipulate circumstances, trust the process. Life will orchestrate events in ways that align perfectly with your vision. Do not let doubt creep in and sabotage your efforts. Doubt is the enemy of creation. Instead, remind yourself that imagination is the divine within you, the source of limitless possibilities. When you align with this truth, you align with the power to bring about profound change in your life. The real question is, are you willing to trust your imagination? Will you allow yourself to dream boldly, beyond what seems reasonable or possible? This is not about wishful thinking or idle fantasies. It's about embodying the feeling of already having achieved your desires. When you live in the assumption that what you seek is already yours, the world around you begins to transform to match that assumption. Let's consider this. Have you ever noticed how vividly you imagine the worst outcomes? How easily fear can paint vivid pictures in your mind? This is proof of the power of imagination at work, only in the wrong direction. Shift that focus. Instead of imagining failure, imagine success. Instead of dwelling on loss, dwell on abundance. Use the same energy you've given to fear and redirect it toward faith. Imagination is not bound by time or space. You are not limited to what your senses tell you is true. Reality is malleable, and it begins within you. You may feel confined by circumstances now, but those circumstances are temporary, born of past imaginations. What you imagine today will become your experience tomorrow. Don't wait for conditions to improve before you begin this practice. Your imagination doesn't rely on external validation. Start now, right where you are. Begin to see yourself as the person you wish to be. Let go of any belief that says you're unworthy or incapable. Those beliefs are illusions, barriers you've constructed in your own mind. Break them down with the force of your imagination. When you activate your imagination deliberately and persistently, you become the master of your reality. No obstacle can withstand the power of an awakened imagination. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable, because you've already lived it within yourself. Your imagination is more than just a mental faculty, it is the infinite source of creativity within you. While many believe that external circumstances hold the power to determine their success or failure, the truth is that everything begins within. If you desire to achieve what seems impossible, it starts by shifting your perspective from looking outward for answers to recognizing the untapped potential within your own mind. One of the most effective ways to activate your imagination is through purposeful daydreaming. This isn't the idle wandering of the mind but rather a deliberate exercise in crafting the life you wish to experience. When you allow yourself to daydream with intention, you are rehearsing the reality you want to create. For instance, imagine yourself in a situation that aligns perfectly with your deepest desires. What does it look like? How does it feel? Let these images become vivid and detailed, and as you do so, you are planting seeds that will grow into your reality. Another key to unlocking the full potential of your imagination lies in your willingness to let go of logic and practicality. The logical mind, while useful, often limits what we believe is possible. It tells us to stay within boundaries, to only strive for what seems realistic. But imagination has no boundaries. It thrives in the realm of the limitless. To truly activate this power, you must allow yourself to dream beyond what you currently see as achievable. Don't ask how something will happen, focus instead on what you want and trust that the details will align in ways you cannot yet foresee. What many fail to realize is that your imagination can shape not only your future but also your past. Events that once caused you pain or regret can be transformed through this powerful faculty. By reimagining those experiences in a new light, you can change their influence on your present. Imagine a past event unfolding differently, with outcomes that empower and uplift you. The power of this exercise lies not in rewriting history but in altering your perception of it, which in turn reshapes how it affects your current state of being. Imagination also holds the key to developing unshakable confidence. When you picture yourself succeeding in a situation before it even occurs, you create a blueprint for your actions. This mental rehearsal prepares your mind and body to align with the outcome you desire. Whether it's excelling in a new career, fostering meaningful relationships, or achieving personal milestones, the process begins with seeing yourself already living in that reality. Confidence is not something you wait to feel, it's something you create within the images you hold in your mind. Another fascinating aspect of imagination is its ability to dissolve fear. Fear often arises from imagining worst-case scenarios and dwelling on negative outcomes. But just as easily as the mind can conjure fear, it can create courage and hope. When faced with uncertainty, shift your mental focus to envision positive outcomes instead. Let your imagination paint pictures of success, joy, and fulfillment. Fear loses its grip when the mind is filled with images of possibility and growth. As you go about your day, pay attention to how often you let the outer world dictate your inner state. Reverse this. Use your imagination to dictate how you feel, no matter what is happening around you. The outer world will soon conform to the inner vision you hold. This is not wishful thinking, it's the law of life. You may encounter moments of doubt, but let me assure you, those doubts have no real power. They are fleeting shadows. Your imagination, fueled by conviction, is far stronger. Hold steadfast to your vision, and you will watch as the seemingly impossible becomes your reality. So, what will you imagine today? The choice is always yours. Activate this power within you, and you will unlock the ability to achieve what once felt out of reach.